Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're taking a look at what is the ongoing information in the case of James Hutchinson. In this video, you're going to learn about an update on the search for James, along with the community response and support for his siblings. Where are they now and what is going on with his siblings? You will also learn in this video where the court case is going against Britney Gosney, his mother, along with her boyfriend, James Hamilton. And thank you again for joining me today. First, let's start off with the court case itself and James Hamilton. Now, between Britney and James Hamilton, there are a total of there's a 31 count indictment against them both. This 31 count indictment is, you know, it's not more one person than the other. It's pretty much evenly cut down the middle on the indictments against them both. But James Hamilton's main charges are abuse of a corpse, kidnapping, and tampering with evidence. There's also obstruction in there, and there are other charges that are lesser charges and ones that kind of go along with Britney's. But he has not received any murder charges himself. So the other day, James Hamilton was in court, and he signed a waiver to waive his rights to a speedy trial. He was due to start his trial May 24th, but he has waived his rights to a speedy trial because his defense is not ready to go forward at this point in time on those to respond to those charges and for a trial. So they will move his court date out to a later date. Now he will go back into court on May 24th at 9 a.m. And at that time, his attorneys will file motions for discovery, other legal motions that for their defendant, their client, and they will then at that point take a look at the calendar and see where it can fit for and work for that not only themselves but for the DA and when their actual trial will start. That is for James Hamilton. Now to the mother, Britney Gosney. Britney Gosney, her entire case, all the charges against her have been put on hold at this point. No court dates will come up in the future, nothing, until she has been declared mentally sane to aid in her own defense, and because she is currently undergoing a complete mental health evaluation and sanity hearing with the state to see if she was insane the day she killed James and if she is sane now. If she is found to have been insane then and still is today, this is what will happen with Britney Gosney. Everything will be put on hold. She will then be sent off to the state hospital where she will receive medication, therapy, and to get her to the point where she is sane. This is her constitutional rights. Everybody has the same constitutional rights. They cannot try you, convict you if you are mentally insane now and unable to aid in your own defense. So she will be sent off to the hospital. If they then determine at a later point she is eligible to aid in her own defense and she was sane now, she may have been insane at the time she committed the act, but is she sane now? And can she aid in her own defense? If she is found to be sane now, again, they will send her back and then the whole court process will start, court dates and everything else. And she will be medicated most likely to deal with her own personal demons or whatever may be going on with her. So that is where her case is right now. Everything has been put on hold because the state wants to know, is she sane? Is she sane to actually aid in her own defense? This was not necessarily a request that was brought up by the defense. And believe me, they were going to bring that up. But the state wanted to know what's going on with this lady and why is she doing these things and why is she acting this way during her brief point of incarceration there at the county lockup, and where she was on suicide watch because of what was going on. So the state brought it up. The defense said, "Yeah, we have no problem. We want to know what's going on as well." So it wasn't the defense, bringing it up. Okay, so now we're moving on to the search for James. The search for James Hutchinson is ongoing. This past Saturday, they gathered again with boats, horses, and people to check the riverbank, upriver and downriver from the location where Britney Gosney and her boyfriend, James Hamilton, said that they threw James's body into the river. They did not find any evidence that the police had shared with local news affiliates. So, and they did not discover James's body. They have been dragging the area of the bottom of the river where they believe James's body may be, but it is entangled with a lot of downed trees and limbs in the river in that area. So he could be entangled in that actual area, and they wouldn't know. It's still unsafe to get divers into the water at this point because of ongoing weather patterns have brought the river back up again, to where it was before, and instead of it going down. So it may be some time before they actually are able to get divers down into the water there. Where are James's siblings, Rachel and Lucas? Where are James's siblings, Rachel and Lucas? Rachel and Lucas are living with their fathers, their biological father, mother, the grandmother. She has temporary custody of both Lucas and Rachel at this time. Because they are minors, the state is not releasing their actual address, and or saying if this grandmother actually lives in Middletown or where she actually resides at. But they are safe and they are with the biological grandmother. So they are doing the best that they can right now for his siblings. The Middletown Fire Department, Police Department, School District, and several local churches have set up a fund. It's called the James You Are Loved Memorial Fund there in town. And they are looking to, along with another nonprofit, set up a permanent memorial for James there. And they want to raise close to $4,000. $1,500 has been donated by the school district, and the company is going to make the memorial for James has decided that they will pay 50% of the actual cost of the memorial. Now, they want to place one memorial there at Rush Run Park, and they also want to place another one at the Rosa Park Elementary School where James was a student. They have an outdoor interactive center for elementary students, and they want to place a park bench there along with a memorial maybe down the road, putting one in the actual downtown area as well. So Britney Gosney, a little bit more information on in the past, Britney Gosney has reached out to several local nonprofits for assistance with her three children, James, Lucas, and Rachel. And in the past, she has received help from Little Miracle of Hope, which is a local nonprofit that they basically they do fundraising, and they make sure during the holidays, and especially around Christmas time, that no child goes through Christmas without receiving, gifts for Christmas without having, a family event, dinner, and mainly towards Thanksgiving and Christmas. They try to make sure that families have, a basic meal for the families, turkey and, and all the fixings and stuff like that. And they, and then Christmas time, they try to buy two gifts for each child in need within that in a household. Britney Gosney in 2018 reached out to Little Miracles of Hope and received assistance during the Christmas holiday. She received gifts for all three of her children, and she was a sponsored family, meaning another family from a local church sponsored them and made sure that they had all the fixings to make, a Christmas dinner for the three children, Britney Gosney, and for, her boyfriend James Hamilton. At the same time, while Britney was there, and living in the home in Middletown, she was receiving state assistance for all three of the children. On top of, she was receiving welfare and child support for the three children. And because of HIPAA violations, I was not able to confirm if she was receiving counseling from Access, ACCESS counseling services. But a friend of hers put a video on Facebook and said that, Britney, is really shook up over the events. She didn't mean to hurt her child, and that she was receiving counseling before this all happened to try to make sense and get through what was going on in her life. Now, I can't, like I said, I can't confirm it. Reaching out to Access Counseling, they wouldn't say if she was a patient or not because of HIPAA, rights, violations there. So that's the update on James Hutchinson case and where the charges are, court dates, and alike, for the parties involved in this. They still haven't found James. They're still searching for him. And we all hope that they are able to find James's remains sooner than later. And at this point, because of weather and everything else, it's it's becoming more difficult as time goes on. We all hope for a soon, a swift ending to all of this. So, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And you stay safe out there.